Hello again, everybody. It's Michael. Today's our number 4th installment here. We're going to talk tonight about some of the government issues that we're dealing with here. And what I want to do is kind of take some of the current events and try to communicate a little issues about that. We're not going to stay on too long because of time and uploading and all these other things. But the government is kind of what you call a dual-edged sword type thing. You know, they're supposed to give the people that they govern a little hope, but lately it's become a despair type issue, simply because of the fact that, you know, with all that we're trying to do in this country for everybody else, the majority of the good citizens are falling behind, and this is going to create a big domino effect with, you know, these radical people and people that want to fight back because they came here and they can't get what they want, stuff like that. So the problem is the despair is growing, and it's because the wealthy and these other things are all happening, and all of these perfect storm type issues are coming into play. So you got to look at it as the government now is in a position to really start looking like some of the other governments, because now everybody's going to want what they want so badly that they're going to create more problems for the little guy. You see, now with these tariffs and the arguments with, you know, the Muslims or the Mexican people, you know, now all of these costs are going to cost the poor. It's not going to cost the wealthy. All of these conflicts and all these things that happen, especially at the government level and with this administration's wealthy friends, see, they think by cutting off all these other things, why everybody else is making this money and everybody else is doing this and everybody else is doing that, they think they're doing us a favor, when in fact they hold out at our expense. So, you know, when you have a president that comes in like this guy Trump, and all of a sudden, oh no, let's undo everything and let's forget all the gains, and I mentioned that. So let's look at it like this, okay? We're one of the wealthiest countries in the world, okay? And the big problem is we don't pay attention to the past, because all of the larger countries and all of these big dynasties in the past have all fallen because of this very same thing, because the wealthy think very highly of themselves. The people that are making these dollars and are getting along and doing well, they think very highly of themselves. They do. I've seen people that are on death's door, and they think real highly of themselves because they've done certain things. Me, I'll probably think highly of myself when I get back to where I was in the Navy, and I was standing on top of an aircraft carrier, you know, on the flight deck, and I'm pondering life while there's nothing around you but stars and this big, huge chunk of metal carrying destruction and all what else it can do. But see, there's a level there that you'll never reach again. But see, people keep thinking they're going to be able to reach that. Not going to happen. And it's definitely not going to happen with our government in the position that it's in right now. So, it's on the decline. You know, we are that problem because we're the only people, and I've been to a lot of places, everywhere I took the dollar, they accepted it. You guys don't even know what a drachma is, or a lira, or a shilling, or things like this. You know, a yen. You're not privy to these things, and you sure don't know how to recognize them unless you read the coin. So we're the bad people here. Why? Because we want people to live the way we want them to. And again, I know there's a lot of bad governments. They're all over the place. You know? If it wasn't for the fact that we made such agreements, you know, Mexico would be one of them, because if I remember correctly, this will probably be the 3rd time that Mexico has devalued their money. So, you know, I can understand they have their own country, but, you know, they want to come here and think that they're going to make it better. You guys didn't get any smarter. Okay, all you did was get a better location. You never solved the problem. You got these people that are just, come on, man, you're bad as the Muslims at some point. Because you believe that, okay, you have to live this way, you have to do this, or we're going to kill you. Sounds like the same group. But when you communicate to the government like you're representatives and your council people or your county representatives. These people are the ones that you have to begin to talk to, because guaranteed they don't want to listen to you poor people unless you do the numbers thing. You do the numbers thing, then you can make change. But don't go protesting. No, don't do that. What you need to do is go in there and just have, say, 2,000 people just sit there and have a big barbecue in front of these people's house or their business. Sit on the sidewalk and feed. You want to talk about it? Don't say nothing. We have no comment. We don't want to talk. There's the guy over there carrying the sign. You know, point to that guy over there, the one that can't talk, the one that does this. Okay? That's what you deserve. Why? I was told to keep my words few. My actions, on the other hand, are well known to you. So we try to look at this and we say, well, let's communicate in a different way, because, okay, I understand, you know, Martin Luther King was probably one of the better people that did the protesting in the way it was. He didn't talk. He told them people, nonviolent, let's just get in the way. We going on one side of the bridge and all of a sudden now you can't get by. Now the thing is to be in a position for where they can't go around you. That's the issue. You don't have to scream, you don't have to holler, you don't have to do all these things. There's no need for that. If you have the time to sit there and protest, be effective. Okay? Don't holler and scream. Ah! Don't burn nothing down. Be effective. Put it in writing. Take pictures. We are living in an age now where there is no such thing as a secret. Well, from what I understand, there was no such thing. The sun will always shine on anybody's secret, especially mine. So if I got one, I don't know what it is. That's fine. But in the meantime, our government to this date is a sinking ship. Because like I said earlier, well, back then they called them empires. See, because of the fact that we did not go and begin to conquer and take, what do they call them, territories, or even have these, I don't know, it's kind of like what is it, Puerto Rico now? It's just a state or a sovereignty that, you know, we try to help out, but they're bankrupting anyway. And see, this is what's happening, because why? In this world, in this cold, cruel world, we have a country called the United States that's full of a bunch of weak people. The world will eventually consume us. Why? Because they'll come here, do what they want to do, and then the American way is gone. Why? Because you didn't allow the American way to stay American. You allowed it to break up into pieces with people that speak different languages. They have their own religions. They do what they want to. Behind closed doors, they still mutilate. They still imprison. They still enslave. They do all these things freely now in this country. Why? Because you don't do nothing. You won't. You put them in the best prisons in the world. We have the best prisons in the world. Geez, man, I was in Pelican Bay. Oh my God, the rooms were so big I thought I should raise a family there. But you have people coming from other countries that don't mind going to prison. Oh my God, you mean I'll be able to eat every day? Wait a minute. You mean I'll be able to exercise and maybe get some fresh air every day? And I don't have to be bombed or gassed or be in poverty for the rest of my life, not have a place to live or live in the dirt? You mean I can go commit a crime in the United States and watch TV for the rest of my life? Okay. Well, you know, that was, you know, the thing. That's what would happen. But here, today's government is different. This is the 21st century now. And now we have what's called the 21st century government. This 21st century government, like I said before, is the Willie Lynch era. Now think about it. If you've read the manifesto, which you probably didn't because I told you don't even watch this program. In the meantime, Willie Lynch has a way to keep not just black people now, but it's the rest of the country in poverty, poor, and without. So, you should look at that. You know, and for me, it's a finale type thing. I'm giving up. I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay here. And my advice, really, is to look at some of the other countries. Because believe me, ship or no ship, you don't want to be here when it's time to sink. You know, you need to get what you can out of this deal. And I mean, you know, think about other alternatives. And this is where, you know, especially the elderly. I was reading a report today about these sanctuary cities and stuff, and how Trump is already going to stop funding. But see, what's going to happen is these cities will now attack their citizenry. Because what Trump did was say, oh, get your money somewhere else. And what they will do is sick the police on you, number one. Okay? Then the fines. Then all of the inspectors and all these people, they will crack down on the city, on the smaller person. Why? Because they can't get to the big guy. The big guy just made policy to fuck us all over. You know, so we can start pulling more money out of our pockets in order to live and exist. Now we don't have any chance to move forward and to have an ease in life, especially the elderly. So I'm thinking, okay, if the sanctuary cities are so important, why don't they cut their costs? If you're so concerned about a bunch of people that are here illegally, why don't you lower your living expenses, cut your pay in order to help them? Don't use my money. Don't do it. I don't want my money to go to a bunch of people that don't want to speak English, don't want to talk to me, don't want to hire me, or don't want to hire me or mine. Why? You don't even want to be my friend. You don't want to speak my language. You don't want nothing to do with me, but you want to come to this country and pretend as if you have as much rights as I do. I can't do that in your country. I can't even get what they call food stamps before. Can't get none of that. But these sanctuary things are very important, because now they're going to be shorted, you know, millions of dollars and things like that. And guess who they're coming after? They're coming after you. Okay? Oh, we don't want that. We want to make sure that these illegal people are here and they're sucking up every dime that we can muster. And now that the government's not going to give us any more money, we're coming after you. We want that money because we want them to feel good, and we want you in poverty. It sounds almost like a Republican thing, but that's what they want. They want you to support their lifestyle, for their lives to be well, for their children to be exceptional. So when you get into the government, now all of a sudden the government works for the government. The government ain't working for the people, because now the people are under attack because somebody decided to be rude to our neighbors. Okay, so that's cool. But I still say, in all instances, you should communicate a little better than that. And what about our elderly? What about these large amount of people that are so poor that they have to work till they're 75 or till they die? Wow, you've done a really good job. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 60 years old. I can't even find nobody that looks like me, let alone want my lazy black behind. But guess what? I'm not staying. Like I said, I know the difference now. I know that for some reason or another, only thing that this government wants now is my money. And then they'll fight me to get what they promised me. Oh, well, you know, that's Social Security. It was, you know, it's a good idea. But, you know, if it wasn't for Bernie and his ripping off of the rich, you know, and all the famous people, you know, and all the government, you know, I'm cool. So listen, the communication issue here has to do with the fact that in order for us to communicate, we should communicate, because I'm going to tell you right now, just think what would happen if another party that was specific to people that made only $150,000 and below. Just think if there was a party like that. That party would win all the time. And guaranteed, if you, and it'd be easy to figure out, your tax returns indicate that you can't even be in this party. And as far as I'm concerned, we can do our voting over the phone, over the computer. I don't care. Voter fraud, whatever. I don't care. My IP number, I don't care. But in the meantime, I look at it from the point of saying taxes and you spending my money where I don't want my money to go. That's what the issue should be. And that's what you need to communicate. So listen, I just hope you understand and realize that when you begin to communicate, you begin to open more doors. You begin to understand. I'd like you all to communicate the fact that you want more wisdom. Or maybe you want more knowledge or understanding of your life. But yet, I would hope you would communicate the fact that you want help. You need help. And you need that help from somewhere, somehow. So, in all of the universe, bring me some help. Because I can communicate, but the question is, do you have the courage to communicate? Peace out, people. And think about this. I can't do it all for you, but I want to help in my small way so you can see. If I can communicate, so can you. Don't be so scared. We'll talk about fear later. Peace out, everybody. God bless you. See you next week. Bye.